This week's episode is brought to you by the Wetaskiwin Arts and Music Festival Committee, Delcon Visual Arts, and Warren's Music. If you'd like to contact us, you can reach us on our Facebook page at Wetaskiwin Wonkcast. Look up Wet Wonkcast. You can email us at wetwonkcast@gmail.com. And you can also find us on our website at delconvisualarts.com/wonkcast. We're also on Twitter. Look us up for Wet Wonkcast, and Instagram, the same handle.
It's episode 15 of the Wonkcast. We are joined in studio today by Abby Kay, who just currently released her first single, Home, which is available wherever music is sold and streamed online. She released that on May 15th. Abby, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Justin?
I'm great. Down to Wonkcast. We're very, very excited to have you here. It's been a busy couple of months for you, getting your EP ready, which I understand you're going to be releasing on June 10th.
Yeah, that's going to be my EP release party at the Aviary, and it's going to be a great show. I'm going to have a full band. I'm going to have an opener. I love everyone to come out if they can.
So you're very excited and very stressed out at the current moment.
Yes, very much.
So usually with Wonkcast, we kind of have guests from Wetaskiwin and everything join us online. And one of the reasons I asked you to come down today is because you're very prominent in the community as well. You perform regularly at Beans Coffee Bar, and as well as some of the festivals kind of outside of town and near to us. And you've been doing that for the past couple of years. So how is it kind of getting out of kind of Edmonton and coming and doing some of these kind of smaller cities and smaller town kind of festivals?
It's really great. I really love the support that they give me. That's what really matters to me. It keeps me going, so I love it. The small places like Beans, like you said, and Millet, and all the small towns around here, they definitely bring me up and support me, and that matters a lot.
Yeah, it would. Now, so would you prefer kind of performing in smaller situations like Beans, or do you like kind of what you were doing with the Ponoka Stampede, where you were up with the full band and you kind of got in front of a massive crowd?
I definitely, I love the small places. They're very intimate, and I can really express my music there, but I really love performing on big stages with a band, and that's definitely my focus point. I love that.
For our listeners who aren't familiar with Ponoka Stampede, they have a talent show that they do every year, and some of the talent that has went on to win the Ponoka Stampede talent show has been Hey Romeo, Gord Bamford when he was a kid performed there, Shane Yellowbird, many, many artists. So one of the things that I was kind of gonna say to you, with that particular contest, do you want to kind of give people a little description of kind of what you went through to do that? Because I understand it was a long day, and you weren't too sure if it was gonna go your way or not. And I thought it was a really cool story when I had heard it about how it came to be. So I think everyone else would love to hear that. Well,
first thing was the auditions. I'm not sure where they were held. Do you know?
Yeah, I think they're at the Stagecoach Saloon.
Yes, that's the place. Yeah. So we went in there, me and my mom, and I was actually sick that day with a cold, so I definitely thought I was not going to go anywhere. But I'm like, all right, I guess I'll do this. I'll just go in and sing my song. But actually, instead of singing my original Home, I sang a different one, Riptide, because I thought it would be easier for having a cold. So then I went in there, went on stage. The people are very supportive there, so it was really nice. Sang my song, sick, and then somehow at the end I stayed after, and they announced my name as going straight through to the finals at Ponoka Stampede, and I'm just like, what?
I thought that was so cool, because I'm just kind of imagining from a musician's perspective, you're kind of stressed out, you're sick, you're not sure how it's going to go, you have a different song, so you're not sure if it's really going to go the way you want to, and then kind of just give us maybe a light of that moment where you found out that you went through and you made it, and how kind of everything culminated to that.
Oh, when they said my name, I was really shocked. I didn't even know if I should stand up or not, but I stood up anyway, and They told me to sit back down because apparently I wasn't supposed to go up on stage. But yeah, I was just so surprised. And just going to the real thing and having the band in the morning do the rehearsal. One rehearsal, that's it. It was just amazing. Totally professional. And I loved it on stage. The stage was amazing. The lights, the music, the wind blowing in my hair. Like, it was real.
And what song did you play when you were with that big band on the big stage in the arena? What was the song you got to play for everybody?
Got to play Love Story by Taylor Swift.
It was a very good job. It was very well done. I saw the video of it. And that was very cool. So performing in that small room and then performing on that big stage where you have the lights and you have the band and you have everybody staring at you like wondering what you're going to do. What's more nerve-wracking? The competition, not sure where you're going to go, or getting up on stage in front of everybody? Or is there kind of a culmination of, you know what, I made it here. I'm just going to go up and I'm just going to have fun and kind of do my thing.
Yeah, the last one what you said, like, just go up, have fun, see what happens. I mean, just being on that stage was amazing and unforgettable.
It's a special moment for sure. So we were mentioning earlier you have an EP coming out June 10th. You're going to be releasing that at the Aviary. So how did that come to be? You've only been doing music now for about 2 years. So how did you get so quick into recording and releasing some music?
Mostly just the support I've been getting. Weston Abba was one of the people who really started me off with music and started me with recording covers. And I just started loving singing and recording like that. So then I started writing my own originals. And then I met with Velveteen Audio, and then a year later, I actually recorded with them, and my producers are amazing, produced by Towers, and yeah, it was just an amazing experience. Yeah. And
so you finally get to release it on June 10th, which I'm sure you're going to be very excited about. You're performing with a full band again. So kind of everything you've kind of been through without the kind of 2 years, from starting out to doing the covers to doing your original music to doing the EP. What's the next step after that EP?
The album.
The album.
Yeah.
Do you have kind of a timeline of what you want to do with that, or is that kind of just going to work towards it and kind of put everything you got into it over the next while?
Yeah, I'm going to keep writing. I'm going to do some grant writing to try to get some money, to make that album, and see what happens. I'm going to do more competitions, enter my recorded songs into them, and do that.
Did you try the crowdfunding approach? Because I know there's some artists I've seen on kind of on Facebook and everything, and they reach out to their followers and they do a crowdfunding thing, and they put packages together. They say, if you donate this much money, you get a signed copy of the CD, or you get a handwritten lyric sheet and autographed or anything. Do you have a plan to do any of that?
I never really thought into that, but it sounds like a great idea. I've seen people do it, and it seems like it works really well. So,
because you do have a lot of followers. I mean, from when I had first seen you, I remember where I very first saw you. I think it was at Millet at the Firefly Music Festival.
Yes,
I think that's where I first saw you, and everyone was just blown away by you. And, you did such a phenomenal job, and I think everybody knew that star was being born at that time. So, and now you're kind of really, really shining and really showing what you can do. And you're just a force to be reckoned with right now throughout a lot of the younger artists. And there's so many young and talented artists out there, and that's the thing. And the best thing about music is it's not really driven on competition. A lot of musicians support each other. Would you say that to be true?
Oh yeah, everyone supports each other. That's definitely what keeps us artists going, is the artists supporting artists.
Yeah. Because I know in a lot of kind of other art forms it could get really competitive, and you kind of, you might get down on somebody if they get to a certain level, and you're not there yet. Have you had something like that happen yet, or has generally everyone been pretty nice and pretty welcoming?
I think that everyone's been really nice and welcoming for the competitions. I've definitely seen it happen before, where there's some competition and people get those eyes, but what can you do? I mean, I just want to have fun, to be honest, and make this dream come true. So.
And you do, and I think what a lot of people are blown away by, from when they hear your voice to when they see you, because they don't think that your voice could come out of you. And that's one of the first things I noticed when I heard you singing. I kind of said, like, how is that possible? So that voice, that's such a big, powerful voice is coming from you. And it works so great because I think it's a great fit and everybody loves it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Have you been kind of compared to anybody?
I have. Mr. Ivan Daines from the Ivan Daines Rodeo compared me to the young Hank Williams, he called me. So that was pretty amazing.
That's an interesting one. I like that. Because I like your style. Like your style, I think, to me, is kind of like Adele. It kind of has that soulful, and I think I mentioned that to you before. Yeah. It kind of has that soulful kind of feel to it, you know? Like, and that's why I think you fit really well in kind of places like coffee shops and stuff like that, because it goes really well with that kind of, that form of music. So it's definitely an interesting comparison to be compared to Hank Williams, but hey, it works. I mean, do you want to play an original song for us today, or do you want to play a cover song for us? Or sometimes we get our artists to kind of, if they want to, kind of get them to play a song for us. And
I'd love to play a cover for you guys.
Sure.
I'll do All I Want by Codaline.
Okay, sounds great. If you're just joining us, we are joined in studio by Abby Kay, and she's going to perform a song for us here today.
This one's by one of my favorite bands from Ireland called Codaline, and it's called All I Want.
See your face once more.
awesome.
Thank you.
You've done this a time or two, I take it.
Yes.
That was great. You know, one thing I really appreciate about you is your voice is so natural. You hear some singers and they have to really put it on. They have to put that voice on for the hour and a half or however long they're singing. But your voice just like it just comes out so natural, like it's supposed to be there.
Well, thank you.
I don't know if that makes any sense. In my head, it's perfect.
Yes. Spot on.
Spot on. Okay, that was great.
I think your dynamics on that are just, like you say, spot on. Those are great. Good control over your voice. Not that I'm here to judge you or anything, but
Thank
I'm
you.
pretty impressed.
Absolutely, and what a great song to pick to play as well. You've played that one several times in your set. How did you kind of come to the knowledge of that song, and how did you say, hey, I'm going to put this one in my set?
Actually, I was a dancer for 10 years, so I listened to a lot of the music, and a lot of the music is contemporary, and this song came up, and it was probably one of my favorite songs that they danced to. A very senior group danced to it, and senior as in like 18 years old, like experienced, and they danced to this song, and I just fell in love with the song and their dance, and then I sang it myself, so yeah.
So how's the transition been from doing dance to music? Where did you kind of make the decision to pick up the guitar and kind of make that transition?
Actually, in the dance studio, there was a small little studio we called the Closet because it was so small. And a lot of the dance moms and my mom were like, Abby, you should go there and just try and sing. And I was kind of shy. I'm like, I don't know, guys. Like, I don't really think that's going to happen. And then my mom signed me up. So then I went and sang a cover, and I just fell in love with the studio and like singing on the mic, and then it just went bigger from there, and I moved on from dance and really tried to focus on the music now and make it possible, make the CD and make it bigger.
See, the thing that's so interesting and that really intrigues me is a lot of musicians start out when they're younger. They start singing when they're younger, when they're a young kid, you know, when they're 2 or 3 or 4, and then they kind of start playing guitar when they're maybe 5 or 6 or 7. You come into it so late, but you play with a certain style that you've been playing for like 10 years, it feels like, and you've been singing for like 10 years. It feels like you've been singing and playing since you were a little girl. It definitely doesn't feel like you've been, you know, doing it for only 2 years.
Oh, thank you. I mean...
That was an extraordinary long compliment, but...
I did a lot of musical theater. That was probably my favorite dance to do, so singing and dancing. Very comedic, though.
Yes.
So now it's kind of weird because I went to comedic to more, you know, depressing, sad songs. But I love it.
But those are the best songs, I think. I think
Yeah.
those are the songs that sell the best because we can't be happy all the time, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely right.
So, who are some of your inspirations for music?
My biggest inspiration would be Tom Odell, and he's from London, England. I actually went to go see him live in London at the Brixton O2 Academy, and that was probably the best experience I've ever had watching him live. London is amazing for their music, and just watching him makes me want to do it more. Just him playing live on his grand piano, just smashing down on the keys, like, wow. There's just a big story behind that, going to London. Like, I'd love to live there myself. It's so amazing. I got to have high tea there and did a lot of tourism. Got to see Tom Odell backstage, actually. Not backstage, but like in a sketchy back alley after the show.
It's not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah. But yeah, he signed my Canada flag. I got to tell him that he's my biggest inspiration. It would just probably be the most amazing thing if I could actually just meet him again and do that all over again, and maybe even sing with him. Like, that would probably just blow my mind right there if I got that.
I'm sure it's very possible with the power of social media and everything now. That's not a far reach to definitely do. So would you ever, if given the opportunity, would you do a song with Tom Odell?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Not
That would be a
twice about
definite
it, just
yes.
kinda, yeah?
Oh, yeah, that would be absolutely amazing.
And you're very kind of in a lucky position, too, because not a lot of people so young get to kind of meet their heroes and get to see their heroes in a chance like that, especially so far away. So that's something really special. And I think that kind of puts an impact, too, on the music. When you meet someone you're influenced by and they turn out to be really nice and, say nice things, that kind of makes the whole situation better.
I think that's a key point you're touching on right now, too, because a lot of your musical inspirations can be just the opposite. You're probably better off not meeting them.
They say never meet
I've
your
heard
heroes.
some of the horror stories, and it's just no. But I think you were pretty fortunate. I think one day you're going to have the chance to be him, where people are going to come up to you and say the same thing. That's my impression of you.
Yeah. And another thing I wanted to say, too, is that you actually broadened my horizon with music, because when I had seen you play live, I hadn't heard of a lot of these artists before, like Tom Odell and like a lot of the other kind of British artists. Yeah, I hadn't heard of any of them. And when I kind of heard you go and play their songs, it kind of made me have kind of a new appreciation for music and realizing that there's a whole world of talent out there beyond, a small kind of circle, and that's another thing that the internet's very powerful for. It kind of gives you the chance to explore kind of new music and new talent throughout the whole world. So
That's definitely right.
who's your favorite, or what's your favorite song to cover, I should say?
Favorite song in general or right now?
It could be in general. It could be any time. It could be like if a favorite song to sing karaoke, or favorite song to play on your guitar that nobody's heard, maybe that you just kind of do for you or your friends, or
Right now would probably be my own original song, Hey. That's going to be coming out soon as well, probably at the end of June. It's a really meaningful song that is going to be the last one on the EP, and I love playing acoustic, that one.
Yeah, that's awesome. Are you super excited to release that EP and then finally get to play some more shows and have something to kind of sell to people and give out to people and say?
Oh yes, I'm very excited to be finally releasing the EP. There's been a lot of people asking, like, do you have a CD? Where is it? And I'm like, no, I don't have a CD, but you can check out my YouTube channel. But, it's hard sometimes to get people to come to the YouTube channel and look it up. But when you have the physical copy, that's what makes it.
I think we should definitely bring it back to physical copies. I mean, online streaming's been huge, and it's been great for a lot of kind of new artists. But there's just something about holding that physical copy in your hand. When you go to whatever store it is or something, when the CD comes out that day, and it's like this special feeling of buying it and holding it in your hand and releasing that. Have you had that chance with a CD? Or a particular musician that you went and you stopped everything you were doing, or kind of had the time to go and get their album and get their CD and kind of have that shared that experience?
Yeah, like live, as in going to see them live?
Going to see them live, or anything like that, or purchasing a record, or...
Yeah, I love the Edmonton artists. Marty Paulina is one of them. I got to grab one of his CDs from him, and it's absolutely amazing. I love it. And Noella Charles as well. I got to work with her a bit on the EP, and amazing artists, like Juno nominated. I can't believe I even got to be with her. Like, that was pretty amazing. So, yeah, I love the Edmonton artists' CDs, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and you're close in that area. You're from Tofield, I understand, for our listeners. Yeah, so coming and doing these kind of you have a lot of summer festivals coming up actually in this kind of area. You want to kind of shed some light on that, where you're going to be performing, where people can come see you this summer?
Yeah, for sure. Probably the first one would be outside of Tofield, Wild Oats and Notes Music Festival. I'll be an in-betweener act there. And then I'll be going to the Firefly Acoustic Music Festival, which is in Millet, for the third year.
Yes.
So I love that place. Justin will be there as well as the MC.
Well. Yes. Very excited.
And then we've got the Suicide and Depression concert in Millet.
August 18th.
Tickets are available. Yeah. I'll be having a bit of a band with me as well there, so that's going to be a fun time. Yeah. And amazing artists are going to be there. The lineup, it's crazy. Absolutely, yeah. So many great talent, kind of all coming together for some great causes and to sharing the fun. Oh yeah, and I've also I'm going to be going to the Little Warriors concert
Oh, okay.
And that's in Sherwood Park.
Oh, right on. Yeah, so you get around quite a bit.
Yeah, I do a lot of fundraisers, that's for sure. And
anybody you want to particularly thank for that? Or?
I definitely want to thank my mom because she takes me everywhere around, driving me everywhere, supporting me. It gets so hectic sometimes, and she's definitely the one that, calms everything down, and she's like, all right, we're going to go here. She figures it out. The scheduling is crazy, but it means a lot, Mom, so.
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah.
So as far as sport goes, obviously your mom's with us in the studio too, and she's obviously your backbone. Is there any other people you'd like to throw a shout out to that are, been there behind the scenes?
Definitely my sister. She supports my music so much, and I love her for that. She comes to as many shows as she can for me, and she just loves my song. She's heard my EP already, and she can't wait for it to release. And my dad, of course, he's the guy who calms me down before a show usually, and is like, all right, Abby, it's all good. And then I've got my producers who really encouraged me to do this. The CD, they made it happen, made it sound amazing, just from me and my acoustic guitar to that. Yeah. So that's amazing. And thank you to you guys. I mean, the support is what really matters around here. So thank you. And I'm going to be playing at the Ship and Anchor contest next week. And that's my second time going there, so I'm really excited.
That's in Calgary, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're on a pretty busy schedule right now, from Calgary and then to Edmonton for your CD release party the next day.
Yes.
And then a bunch of kind of other places around Alberta and everything. So how do you take care of that voice? Because it's such a powerful, being in itself, that I'd imagine it takes an army to take care of. But do you have any special remedies, maybe some things you do before the show, or just kind of...
I'm trying to think what I do, I...
Just wake up and...
I guess I just wake up and then go. I mean,
show up and,
if I'm sick with a cold, which I usually am, for really big events, got to get my Starbucks tea, and just go from there. I don't know. I don't really do any fancy... blow through the straw type thing. I just kind of maybe practice my song a couple times and then do it.
Yeah, just keep yourself hydrated.
That's for sure, yeah.
Sure. That's the best way to do it. And I got a cool opportunity to, not a lot of people know this, but I got to write a song with you when you were first kind of starting out in your career. You and your mom came down and you performed some songs in my living room for my dog and my cat, which is very cool. And so when you get big and famous, I'll be able to say that. And we wrote a song together, which was awesome. We wrote Fighter. Yes. And it's kind of started out with I had just written lyrics on a sheet of paper, and I wasn't too kind of confident about them or anything, because I wasn't sure how it would work with my voice. But then I had sent it to you because when we had met, we had talked about maybe getting together and writing or doing something along those lines. And then you just took it and you brought all this power and this energy and this life to it and brought it up from the ground and made it a living creature and turned it into such an amazing song. Which is really, really cool.
Well, I mean, without your lyrics, there wouldn't have been any lyrics behind it. So, I mean, your lyrics are absolutely amazing, Justin. Your songwriting is absolutely amazing. When I looked at the lyrics, I'm just like, wow, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make it sound as amazing as the lyrics are? So, yeah, you were definitely, the first one that I got to songwrite with and collaborate with. So it really opened me up in my eyes to how amazing that is to do, because you were so welcoming with it that it made it amazing.
Yeah.
It made it phenomenal and fun. So,
well, sometimes when I write a song, I write it from might be from the perspective of a girl or the perspective of a guy, and you're not really sure. So you kind of write it with somebody in mind to kind of write it for, and then so when you try to kind of sing it, it doesn't work out. So you say, oh, well, I have someone in mind that can kind of do it, and that's how I kind of came to email you with it and with the prospect of it. And you made it just so amazing, and I wanted to thank you for that.
Well, I want to thank you for emailing me. That's how it all started. So,
if you don't want to find that, it's on YouTube. I think there's a couple different versions on YouTube, some live ones of it. So
yeah, I did do it live at the Needle Vinyl Tavern.
Yeah.
What's it called? Fighter. Okay, cool.
So we've come to the end of the show now, and I just want to thank our guest Abby Kay today for joining us, and of course Abby's wonderful mom for bringing her down and allowing her to kind of hang out and chat with us this afternoon. So now it's the kind of the part of the show where we kind of turn it to our guest and we kind of give them an opportunity to kind of promote anything upcoming, or if they have kind of wherever you can be found on social media. So if you wanted to do that and let our listeners, our wonderful listeners, know where to find you.
Yeah, for sure. If you guys want to find me, I'm all over Facebook, Abby K Music. And
Capitals with a period, right?
Yes, capitals with a period. Also YouTube, Abby K Music as well, with the capitals and a period at the end of the K. And CD Baby, my song Home, is on there. And all over social media, so iTunes, Google Play, wherever you want to find it. And also I've got my next single coming out called Better on My Own on Thursday, so if you guys want to check that out, please do. I would love that.
This week, that's this Thursday, everybody. If you wanted to check that out, that's going to be coming out right away. So thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for having me, you guys. This is great.
You're welcome, and you're welcome back anytime you would like to come.
Thank you.
In case some of the listeners out there go, well, she sounds awful young. You want to tell us how old you are?
I'm 16.
She's 16 with that talent,
that voice.
Look out, world, she's coming at you.
Yeah, look out.
So with that being said, Abby, thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
Thanks for being here. Justin, my co-host, we're going to wrap this up unless you have something else you want to add.
No, I'm great. You guys are great. So.
Awesome. So thanks for listening, everybody, and have yourself a great remainder of the weekend. This week's episode is brought to you by the Wetaskiwin Arts and Music Festival Committee, Delcon Visual Arts, and Warren's Music.